Hey everybody, Shawn James here again. I'm up here with Joe Robinet in north central Ontario, just west of Algonquin Park. Told you I had some announcements about my property while we're up here today. Trying to usher in spring and say goodbye to winter, but up here there's still lots of snow in the bush, so we're actually snowshoeing in. Got a beautiful spot here, beaver pond behind me and a creek running through. And this time we're up here building a shelter, sort of an outpost Adirondack shelter on the back corner of the property. So looking forward to it. We have a perfect spot here. Nice flowing water. You can hear behind me a little rapid or waterfall beneath a beaver dam. So beautiful spot. Lots of building materials. So we're going to get going. It's supposed to clear up, be sunny and well above freezing. So it's going to be a great 3 or 4 days. So thanks for tuning in again, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. With between 10,000 and 15,000 trees on the property, I wasn't worried about taking out a few balsam fir to make this Adirondack shelter. In a clump of 2 to 5 trees, we would cut down 1 or 2 trees, leaving the other ones to grow healthier and stronger. Yeah, so we can measure what that. Sometimes a rock is a better digging tool than a snowshoe or a piece of wood, especially when the ground's frozen. The rock has that weight, that mass behind it, and the rigidity, the hardness, to kind of beat your way down there. I'm trying to get this level across the back here. Putting it on rocks is going to stop those back corners from sagging too much, and of course from rotting. Good tight fit. So what I'm doing here is notching this log, so it's actually going to sit in here nice and tight, but it's also going to stop these bottom logs from moving back and forth because we're not fastening them in. See, so this log can't move that way. Going to do the same at this end. I'll notch that, and I'll put a slight notch in this bottom log. Don't want it too deep because I don't want to weaken it, because we're actually putting some weight on this bottom log. So just give this a shallow notch, a little seat for this log to sit in. A little deeper than that. This is Bunkie.
Figured it would only be a good idea to do the same to the back that we did to the front. Just gonna stack a couple rocks on this side because it's lower. It's easier to do that.
Nice dry bark.
Some nice hardwood on there, some maple twigs.
Yep, deserve it. It's time for dinner finally. Worked pretty hard today, believe it or not. But this is going to be a long-term camp, so I'm glad we spent the time to find the perfect location and get some logs cut and the beginning of a shelter made here.
You can really feel the warmth from the fire too, just
Totally.
so perfect.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really kicking the heat back to us. It's not going to be too cold tonight, but even if it was, I think this would do a pretty good job of keeping us warm. That end there is west, so if it was cold and there's a wind coming in, we would have blocked that side off instead of this side. So I'm really hungry though. Didn't drink enough, got some water on the go here, and gonna fire up some, I think I'll do some venison ribs tonight. Right, so for dinner tonight, I had a little bit of a mishap in the bag, so I'm gonna cook everything and then I'll just reheat it tomorrow night. Got some venison stir fry, basically some venison steak that I cut up nice and fine. Yeah, that's good. It's from a deer I shot last fall, my bow. A little bit more of the same. And then I've got these big ribs, so I'm just gonna have the ribs tonight and the venison stir fry tomorrow. But since it's all kind of leaking, it'll get thawed today because it got up to like 5 degrees above zero. I'll get these big ribs on here as well. So I'm gonna flavor those in the stew, and then I'll barbecue them or grill them up at the end. So in the bag, I don't often bring vegetables. Obviously I wouldn't take this on a canoe trip, but this time of year when I don't mind carrying some gear and we're not going that far, we're base camping in this case. Got some heavier food, so I filled up that sack with just 2 days worth of food, 2 or 3 days worth of food. So in this bag I've got beets, celery, potatoes, carrots, sweet potato I think, onions, and leek. And put a little bit of barbecue sauce in there as well. So that's going to form sort of a gravy. So it'll be like a stew that I can kind of put everything in and save half of it for tomorrow night. Alright, well, it wouldn't be a winter camping trip but I didn't have meat on a stick, so there we go. This is actually tomorrow night's dinner anyway, so I'm just going to slow roast it. Might even be on there all night, we'll see. Shouldn't get too many critters here. Maybe a wolf pack, but they're not going to come and bother us too closely.
Odd. I can't believe there's still residual light, like 8 o'clock.
This is definitely too high in one spot. I'm going to be rolling it.
I'm not hating my thin layer of boughs hanging out at all.
No, it definitely beats like rolling and dropping 2 feet down to the ground. I've got this bit of boughs here to protect me from not only the branches but the sap coming up from these boards. We're gonna have to do something with that in the future, but it's pretty cozy. I think it'll be warm. This fire is really kicking the heat out. That's it. We're gonna turn in. It's about 10 o'clock, so we'll see you bright and early in the morning. Sunrise over here, I'll show you that, and hopefully it's gonna be a beautiful sunrise in the morning. So good night, see you then. Board check, yeah, I'm gonna get myself in. So the temporary setup we had last night with the tarp worked out really well for us, but we're ready to continue on with the shelter and make it more permanent. So the tarp's down. We'll trim these logs up, put a sloped roof on there, and then we'll put sidewalls on it as well. Make it comfortable, shave these down, get them nice and flat and comfortable and secure in place, and then we're good to go. This will be a long-lasting shelter for many years. I'm sure it'll get used well. Yeah, what's the length?
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, you don't even have to use that skinny part too much either.
No.
Okay. That's straight enough, eh?
Yeah, I like it.
Alright,
I like
perfect.
that now.
What are you making? Chili?
Yeah.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think it needs to go to 5. It's okay there. Fairly okay on this side.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So 4.5 to 5. We need one more?
Yep. Getting hungry yet?
Kind of fun.
I know. I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Heavy cover canteen is just the perfect size to make this rice.
So a lot of times I actually trimmed all the meat off the ribs and I put it into the ground, but it's so tedious doing that. I stopped last year, shot 2 deer last fall, and I just kept all the ribs like this. It's perfect for bringing out on trips like this. And I don't care about getting messy. I can get right into it and get all the meat off of that. Good morning. I don't bring a watch on my trip, so I had to ask Joe what time it was, and I cannot believe I slept until 7 o'clock. Now, still some good coals in the fire from last night. It was a nice hot fire with that maple and birch. But we're going to skip breakfast, just pack up and go. Beautiful morning by the looks of it. Sun's coming up and a little bit of cloud cover, but temperature's not bad at all. Spring, I think, is finally here. This is probably the only place in Ontario that still has snow, and
Quite a bit of it.
yeah, quite a bit of it. Still need snowshoes on the way out, but I think that's awesome as far as putting on workshops or winter camping. The season's good right till the end, and then spring comes and it's a whole different ball game. So I'm glad this is a high snow area. So we're gonna pack up. Thanks again for watching. It's exciting stuff coming up. Don't forget to keep tuning in. Gonna be jumping back and forth between the other cabin build and finishing this shelter off. Like I said, this is a shelter that's actually going to be used as a kind of a temporary camp while we're building other stuff on the rest of the property. So we're going to make this more comfortable, and it'll stay here, and people can come up and stay in this shelter and help make improvements to it, make this more of a campsite, maybe a little table between the trees or something, and trail down to the water and stuff. So it's going to be a great spot all year long. Like, this is March, but this is going to be a beautiful campsite at any time. So stay tuned. I think the next video is probably going to be the cabin back at the friend's place. Make some progress on that, and then we'll be back up here and we'll do some other stuff. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.